All right, we finally got him here. Here he is, George Ross. Good morning, sir.
I'm here. Sorry.
I think, to be fair, I completely forget about school runs and things like that. And I thought when we started it at 9 o'clock, it would be right. This will be bang on now for school run times. But yeah, we're probably still a little bit out, Simon. But yeah, I think Amy's probably, if she can, she's going to come a little bit later, but it might just be us three at the minute. But mate, this is probably a topic. And by the way, I looked at the last time you came on, and I think it was like about a year ago. So we haven't properly caught up. I see you at a car boot at Dunton. We had a nice little catch up there. We had you on, me, you, and James. And I think the main thing was around balance. Obviously, like one of my favorite topics. And it's in YouTube, eBay business, family, all that kind of stuff. But since then, I don't think we caught up since you won the award, mate. Like you won the community award, which was massive.
I think last time I was on, I wasn't allowed to say or something. I can't remember now. Because I was looking when I was last on. And yeah, lots has changed.
How was that experience though, mate? Because it was something that I think you went in for quite a few years, and I think you came close a couple of times. So it was a huge thing for you, and like definitely well deserved. The amount of years that you've put into YouTube, eBay, like just reselling in general, and like providing content for so many of these guys that are in the chat and watching the replay and that. So yeah, congratulations, mate. It's such a big achievement.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I think it was John Luke entered one year, and it didn't even cross my mind. I was like, he won. Maybe I should go in next year if it happens again. And then obviously Nick and Andrew came in like, the OGs. So obviously they were going to win. So it was my second time trying again. I was sort of different. I actually nearly didn't apply. It was the last day I put my application in. I was like, we'll go again. Might as well. Yeah, got shortlisted. I think I found out I won. It was like the end of August, and I couldn't say anything till the end of October. So that was a bit annoying. But even at eBay Open, when I met you, I couldn't say anything technically. I had to wait for the award ceremony in Mayfair, which was really cool. Got all dressed up and that. You probably saw in the thumbnail. That was at the award ceremony. Yeah, they paid for a hotel as well. I think it was like £500 a night, so that would do. Yeah, it was really, really good. Definitely changed the business this year, definitely, with what we're going to talk about.
What I was going to like to say that you may have noticed this as well, but it just does feel that eBay have finally recognized that there is like some form of community. So they're trying to actually get more people on board when that comes to whether it's social media or seller meetups and all this side of it. But I think they are now recognizing that they've got to do something. They can't just be stuck in the 1990s. So I think kind of like the recognition that like you've achieved, I think is absolutely well deserved as well. So yeah, like, and hopefully kind of that cash input has actually helped you to grow the business as well.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the main thing was towards a new car because it was in the focus, 3 children, and the buggy, as you might have seen in the videos, just in the way constantly. And we've had this new car 2 weeks now. Got a nice 7-seater, fully electric. I've got more space than I need. The buggy fits in, the children fit in, the dogs fit in. Yeah, so that's brilliant. And yeah, obviously the main change as well with the prize money is Amy was able to quit her job and she's now on board with Retro Reselling Limited. Also went limited. That's the other new thing. That was a big change. It's literally from the prize. Yeah, just loads has changed, but still flipping stuff. That's the main thing. Buying stuff, selling stuff.
This is a conversation I wanted to have with, and I have touched on it slightly as part of like conversation. It hasn't been the main focus on like previous episodes over the years with James, and then probably a little bit as well with Simon, with the likes of like Michelle, who has her husband coming in and stuff like that. But this is such a big thing, and it kind of reminds me about like when you're part-time and then transitioning into full-time. When do you make the leap? Like, do you do it when you hit a certain savings goal and stuff like that? Kind of reminds me of that chat. But yeah, for you, kind of when it comes to this, did you say that the main thing really is the fact that you got that money and it gives you that security for Amy to then come in? Or was it kind of like a planned thing anyway? Because this is, to me, it's huge, and we've spoke about it so many times with Simon and other people as well. Is like there's so many different factors to it. For one, it's like you've got the relationship side of things, you've got the business side of things, you've got how far you can push it, do you double down, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's huge, mate. But was the main thing for you getting that kind of cash security and then bringing Amy over?
I'd say that helped push it over the line, because I was a fortunate position when I went full time doing this, because I used to be the sort of the house husband, so I'd done the school runs, I'd done the house, and Amy was the full time worker. And then it was sort of when our second Maisie, she started full time school. That's when it was sort of either get a normal job, minimum wage probably, or just give this a try. Like it helped clear our debts, it helped pay for the wedding. So there's something in it. So we'll give it a go. If it does something, then good. And if it doesn't, we'll just get another job, see, and do it on the side. And that was 10 years ago this July. So I'm still here full time. So it worked. And yeah, so that was that was probably the positive position. Like there wasn't really anything to lose. Whereas obviously if you're in a full-time job now, you got like security, you got your pension and all that stuff. So I can see how it is a lot harder. But so yeah, that was a fortunate position. And then with this change, with Amy coming on, she's always been like the proper worker, like work for a company. She does really well. She always gets promoted. She wins like all these awards and stuff. But it was sort of getting to a point where the job was getting in the way of this business. Like, so she would have to do, she only worked 3 days a week or 3 half days. But even then I'd have to drop tools. So I'd get behind with my listings, get behind with editing. And she wasn't really enjoying the work anymore. It was quite stressful. So she used to do business analyzing for the council, and working for a council. I don't know if anyone does, but it's a nightmare and very political and stuff. But she left that one. And her recent job was actually with CPS, Crown Prosecution. And you see anything and everything, as you can imagine, on remands, like obviously crimes that have happened. And she doesn't really want to see that all the time. It brings her down. Again, stressful, time limits. So yeah, we remembered the reason I done this is because I enjoy it and I'm able to stay at home, do what I want when I want. And Amy wanted a bit of that as well, really. Sort of run the numbers, and obviously the eBay prize money helped as well, bit of stability. I just went for it, really. Like new year, new start, literally. January hit, she handed a notice in, and yeah, so her focus, she's not like full-time with the business, because our son Lenny, he's got autism, so he needs additional help and needs and things. So she does that and the house, and then she does the business, sort of the background stuff. So she'll do the QuickBooks every day, do my mileage. That I did not do that at all. So there's a plus there. Yeah, emails chasing up. So with the YouTube side, like I'd wait for sponsorships to message me, but Amy's more proactive. Like she's sending out emails. So we've got a couple of links now where it would have happened. So there's another business there. I think we're going to talk a bit about short form content as well. So Facebook, TikTok, she's sort of running that side of it as well. So yeah, it's all early days still, but we're getting the ball rolling quickly. She doesn't let me sit still.
So pretty much coming up for 3 months now. She's been in the business since January, we were saying. And just on the kind of the face of it, it looks like your business is like absolutely kind of like going great guns. It looks on the outside that like there's a lot more, there's lots of processes in place. Seems like Amy is very much process driven. So she's all about kind of like making things in the right place. So I'm absolutely one of like your fans. I watch like all your content, and I think I love it. But there are things that I'm sitting in front of the telly, go, George, no, please. But now, like seeing that there's someone else who's coming in as well with like all these like other like plans, I can just see it going like one direction, and I'm sure that's going to be up.
Yeah, like I said, her first job with the council was business analysing. So she would literally go in, say, I'm trying to think of an example. I can't think now, but basically there'll be a part of the council. It's been this structure for like decades. Like they do this routine, even though technology's evolved and they're old school and they'll stick to it. It was Amy's job to go in, see what they do, and just completely rip it apart. Yeah, and they didn't like it. Obviously, once you're like me, I don't like it. I get in my comfort zone. I know what I'm doing. It works. Obviously, if you don't evolve, and there's ways to improve things, like obviously I'm changing the boxes over, like you too. This was part of Amy's analysing. So obviously, I thought, oh, big box, more stock, it'll hold everything. That's all I need. But actually, she worked out we get an extra shelf with these tortilla boxes, and we actually hold more stock that way. So whereas I was just ploughing along, this is working fine, doing the maths and putting it to like practically, that's actually better. But we're in the process of doing that.
Well,
yeah, she doesn't.
I was going to interrupt. At some point, I'm sure she will convince you that having individual SKU numbers on the item will thing. And I appreciate that. That's a big sticking point for you. But just listen to her. It works.
I watched
this is a compromise. Yeah.
I watched your latest video and it made me die. Because now I understand like her background, and you just saying there, she rips everything apart and then it's just like starting again. And it was like that. There was no real like emotion in it. It just reminded me of my missus so much, where she would just stand there and say like, "Why are you doing this?" And I'm like, in my head, I was like you. I'm like, no, I'm a reseller. I've been doing it for this amount of time. This is the way. And then she would look at it from an outsider point of view and go, "Doesn't work though." And that was exactly, it reminded me exactly that when Amy was like, why have you got, she said something like, why have you got a pair of jeans in this box with these pair of shorts when everything should be in like different stuff? And it was just, it was hilarious because it just reminded me of like exactly how she is. And it's weird when you get a different perspective of someone who's not involved in it. And I always think that like, they're not going to know more than me, but there's been so many times other than like the story system, which by the way, you're 100% going to go to that. It's a no-brainer. Like Simon, how much? That's probably the best thing that we've ever done in our system ever. But I understand that you've got different bits. You're not just like full clothing and that. But nice. It really intrigues me with the roles, because I always think if Luz came in.
I was just going to say, reselling isn't her passion. Like I went to my first midweek car boot sale this morning. She's still not interested in that. Her passion is organizing. She loves her cleaning, just stuff like that. Basically, that is her passion. So obviously she's in the charity shop videos because she enjoys the charity shop and the odd jumble sale. So she might come to a boot sale, but yeah, that's not her passion. This is mine, the buying stuff, and yeah, everything else is hers. So it works. But yeah, there is some compromise, like changing to this system. The compromise for now is I'm not doing the individual ones at the moment, but no doubt by the summer probably, or this Christmas, it will be individually numbered. I'm sure of it. She eases me in. She'll think it's my idea. But yeah. She knows that's the best idea, individually number, but she'll somehow make it like it was my idea, even though it was her idea all along.
It was funny, honestly, watching it. And I think as well, like, say if my partner came in, and Simon, you can jump in on this as well, because I don't know if you feel the same. I would instantly go to they would be doing the tasks that are kind of the mechanical ones, so like the picturing, the listing, the drafting. And then I would be the one who's kind of accumulated knowledge over the last like 2, 3, 4 years. I'd be the one to go out and get the stuff because it's going to be a hell of a lot easier. So is it kind of like that with you, where they're coming in doing the process things, doing the more mechanical stuff, and then you're the one going out and getting it? Or is it kind of bigger than that, because obviously you're bringing in the YouTube side of it as well?
Oh.
Did you hear that okay?
No, I got half of that, sorry. I think my internet dropped out.
Oh, okay, no worries. No, I'll go again. No, I'm saying like, with like bringing someone in, for me personally, it'd be like they would be on the mechanical side of things, so say like picturing,
Yeah.
listing, drafting, all that kind of stuff. That's very easy to teach, very easy to like give over. And then I'd be the
Yeah.
one that goes out and gets the stuff because the knowledge is accumulated over the past God knows how many years. So it's easier for me to do that side. Was it like that with you then? She'd go on the processes and then you would actually go out and get the stuff? Because it kind of makes it easier. You said that she's not as interested in car boots and all that side of things. So it kind of feels like a good match.
Yeah, definitely. I've been trying like all of last year. I just really needed a photographer. Like, can someone just picture this stock, please? But she's not interested in that. She's put her foot down. Like, I'm not photographing. I'm not listing. Like, oh. But yeah, this is actually more helpful. Because obviously it's all systems and just workflow. So that's actually helped a lot more. And actually, again, the start of this year, her brother, every sort of Friday or every other Friday, he'll come here and he will do the photography for me. He'll pack some orders just to sort of give him some work experience. So I've got a bit of help. But yeah, well, I was sort of thinking, oh, I need Amy to help with the photography, with the packing, all that stuff. But I do that anyway. I quite enjoy it. But yeah, without realizing, it was actually the background stuff. In fact, if you talk amongst yourselves, I'll quickly grab something as well that she's introduced. It's quite hard to explain, but I'll show you how much she's organized my week. 1 second.
Oh, good. I want to ask the chat as well. Say if you did bring your partner in, or it can be anyone really. It doesn't necessarily have to be a partner, but probably for this specific conversation, it would maybe help if it was your partner. Would you define them to certain roles? Maybe ones that you didn't want to do, or like I said, more mechanical roles where you then go out and get the stuff. And Simon, you can jump in on this as well, because I feel like maybe you would be down the similar route, but you might surprise me, to be honest. And then I'll get the questions ready for when George comes back, so we'll crack on with them as well.
Yeah, I think I'm exactly the same as you. I think outsourcing the mechanical side of it, for example, the actual pictures, the postage side of it, the even to some degree like the listing side of it, because there's other way. It's now a lot easier than it ever has. It used to be the physical listing was an incredibly difficult part of the job. I think it's a lot easier with different options that are open to us now. So all that side of it, I think, is super important, and I think they're the first ones. But I think it's ridiculously difficult to actually get the items, to get good quality items. So that for me would be, I would like be the one going out and like buying stock, and then like you like bring in the wife or someone else to actually do the mechanical side of it.
Yeah, I definitely want to touch on a little bit to do with AI listers as well, because like we were saying there, you get them to do the picturing, you get them to do the photoing and stuff like that, and then obviously we've got all this technology as well that's going to be coming in to make it slightly easier as well. So kind of giving over those processes might be way easier in the near future. But George, I was getting a few questions ready for you as well, unless you wanted to move on to something else. But I think it's so important because a lot of these guys obviously get an opportunity now to ask you stuff live, which is really cool. So
well, this is what I was grabbing quickly. This is our weekly. Oh, I can't see it because it's glass, but every Monday morning we get a coffee after the school run, and Amy plans out our whole week, Monday to Sunday.
Hey, so, I need this so bad. I've got a whiteboard with nothing on it.
I flipping love that. Literally, I honestly say, and this has come from us being like ridiculously process driven, and both of us don't actually have that.
Wait, show us can you show us what's on it or not?
Let me get a bit of white paper so you can see properly. 1 sec.
Because now we're diving into a Monday in George Ross's life.
I've got a bag. I don't know if, because it's glass, it's quite hard to see on camera, but I can. Right, so if Monday was film, edit, release video, pack orders, which is quite an easy one. But today is boot sale. Make sure you film that. I did that. And what's that? Part 2, swimming lessons tomorrow, edit video. It's quite an easy week, to be honest, but this is normally more full than that. But that's every Monday morning, and that's again routine, so we know what's coming. Because before, like last year, I just make it up as I go along. What am I doing today? Let's have a look. But that's not allowed anymore.
Luke, we need a join one of those as well.
Mate, I've got a
Like,
whiteboard. I've got a
honestly, so
whiteboard
have
here.
I. Like we need to actually head like
I'll spin it
we need
around.
strategy meetings.
Look, this is rare that there's actually something on it. So this was just like this was yesterday's stuff here, and then I got off a call with what was it, eBay or something like that, and then I've managed to write down a note from them, which I probably shouldn't have revealed. But yeah, I think what was I going to say? Oh, I'm going to get onto questions. So yeah, but before that, yeah, like I was saying, I feel like I've kind of drifted into that. Not having that plan as well. It's like I've got the stuff that 100% needs to get done. Say like the listing goals, like pictures, listings, all that kind of stuff. Get the postage out. That's like that has to happen. But beyond that, I've been a little bit sporadic to say the least. So having something like that, or actually just utilizing this thing that's been on the wall for bloody ages. Yeah. So anyway, let's crack on. But yeah, guys, any questions that you've got for George, whack him in now. I'm going to go through them because I asked George and I was like, right, regardless of this topic, which is so important and so key for people, probably now or in the near future, anything else you want to speak about? And he actually gave me a list, which was really cool. So let me go to them ones. Question for it's a question for Amy. Oh no, maybe you could answer as well though. George seems
She
to
might
take.
be back soon, yeah.
What was that?
She should be back soon, so hopefully she can jump on second half maybe. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I can answer it for her.
I'll leave that till if Amy does come on, Leanne. If not, maybe George can try as well with it. Is George going to do a shed extension now? Are you going to extend the shed?
Not yet. That's why I don't know if you've seen the latest video. You said you did. I have actually. The back rail is empty, which means I yesterday ordered my new racking, so I've got more space because it's all about using the most of the space I do have. And like I always say, I'm not a museum or anything. It has to be in and out. Ideally, no more than 90 days. And if stuff's still here after 90 days, reduce it, take offers, promote it. It needs to get out. Just rotation. Amy has told me I've got more than enough space to do what we have to do in here. So no extensions.
Speaking our language. Lucius Carby, great question. What's the next thing you want to do to expand your business, or is now where you want to be?
So we've always been about family focused. We're not about being millionaires. We don't want big fancy cars and houses and that. It's just all about work-life balance. So we've never had to pay a penny towards childcare from our eldest, who's now 16. She's doing the GCSEs next month, to Lenny. We've always been there, so that's what we're about. Maybe when Lenny starts school in September this year, might get like a separate unit elsewhere, but for furniture again, because that's where I sort of started, the vintage furniture and things like that. I have to keep leaving it behind, which hurts. But so might just expand into more niches again, and with the short form content like Facebook Talk, we're dabbling in that again, so that's another thing. There's always some way to move, but as long as it works within our family unit, that's the most important thing.
I'm going to be really selfish. I'm going to quickly ask a question. What's your thoughts? Are you going to be potentially going back? You've done a bit of the live selling in the past. Now we've got obviously like eBay Live. Is that something that you're looking to go into, or is that something you've actually been burnt previously? And would you consider doing it again?
Yeah, I've still not fully signed up yet, but I'm going to give it a go. Gave Whatnot a really good go. Like I went full in. Can you still see me? What's happened here?
Yeah, we're good.
Sorry, I froze then. I took Whatnot on. It was about 6 months, half a year, and I was fully in. Like, let's give this a good go. But I haven't even got the app on my phone anymore. Just I get PTSD. Just the pressure of like I've done a show every Friday, and like, all right, we need 50 items. We need to get it cheap enough. I need to be willing to make a loss sometimes, break even, small like profits. It's stressful. And then get a giveaway. I'd have to pay for a giveaway. Like my first show, I gave away a pair of brand new Nike Air Force Ones. And in the whoever won, it was in their size. So I think they're like a size 9, so I had to go to JD, £110 on some Air Force Ones, and I didn't like that bit. But yeah, it started off really good, like lots of profit, and then as the months went on and the weeks went on, the profits got smaller and smaller and smaller, and yeah, I raged quit basically.
We might
But
as well
nah,
touch on a bit of live now. But this is the thing. So you've had, and you've been so open about the numbers and your experience with Whatnot, but
yeah,
you've now spoke about eBay Live being like potential, maybe going down that route. Like
yeah.
if you're gonna go and do that, what would you do different, or would you have to have more maybe support from the platform? Like what would be the way that
Yeah.
you go about it?
I'm not too sure. That's the thing that worries me and puts me off. Like, is it just Whatnot 2.0, or is it because obviously eBay is a massive platform with the audience already there? Would it be a bit better? I'm not fully worked that one out yet because I'm not onboarded yet, and Amy hasn't looked at it yet properly. I'm thinking it might be the same, but hopefully a bit better. But I'm not sure. So, but I'm always willing to give it a go. So we'll see.
That's the thing. It's like you don't really know until you give it a go. And I remember when Simon, before, he was like, "Oh, I'm thinking about doing this thing," and if I'm being honest, I was like, "Mate, you should probably just stay away from it. Just stick to your same model and just crack on. You're doing really well." And he's added it, and he's been an absolute monster when it comes to eBay Live. So yeah, you don't know until you try it out, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, never shy away. Yeah, eBay Live, we'll give it a go. Like when Vintage first came around, sign up, give it a go. Yeah, just always willing to try something else to stay ahead of the curve because, like I said, you don't want to fall behind and then play catch up. Like with Depop, actually. Since eBay have bought Depop, I already cross-listed on there anyway, but I'd rather my store be on Depop ready for the changes because it might go up again, hopefully. But if not, I'll just take them off again. But I want to be in a position where I'm set up and ready if it does take off again. But it's a big if.
I've never had or bought anything off Depop. It's actually mental. Cloud9 allotment, a question. Will we see Amy doing a solo boot sale run this season? I'd love to see what she'd pick up, especially retro home decor. I think she's got a good eye. Would she go to one by herself and do it?
She's even not filming a boot sale, she gets quite self-conscious, like, because I was the same when I first started at boot sales. Like, you look at someone's table and you feel like they're just staring at you. So to then do that and film it, it's quite a tall ask, but we'll get there maybe. No doubt we'll go to like a later boot sale as a family or us two, and we'll have a couple of cameras sort of and split up, see how she gets on. So I'm just as interested as you lot to see how she gets on, to be honest.
How's her confidence been in terms of being on camera? Because I know it's a big thing. It was a big thing for me. It was a big thing for you. At times, I still get like nervous and struggle a little bit, even like now. But for her, I think you said like it was maybe a little bit tough in the beginning, and now she's getting more confident with it.
Yeah, she didn't want me to put on camera at all previously, but it was like a New Year's resolution this year, like no more being scared or anything, just go for it sort of thing. Because that's what she made me do. Like when I done the skydive a few years ago, she was the one that forced me to do that. She forced me to go on YouTube. She forced me to go like full-time reselling. So this has always pushed me, but now it's my turn to push back a bit. So yeah, it's a New Year's thing, right? No more being scared. Just take the leap. Now she's getting more comfortable. Like she was in the unit video the other day. She didn't have to have full makeup put on and her hair all blow dried and stuff. Yeah, it didn't take long. Like it's a couple of months in and she's getting more comfortable already. And you're sort of seeing her personality come out a bit more. Whereas maybe at the start she was more prim and proper. But now there's a bit of banter now, like it is off camera as well. So it's good to see.
I definitely like, you can really see the changes already, like just over like the couple of months. And I think she's doing incredibly. And I think people relate to you, certainly on the social media, on the YouTube side of it, is because you are just George. You are just who you are, and you just try to be like you're not putting on any like kind of fakeness, and like so you are you. And I actually really like it, the interaction that is actually now happening with you and Amy, even when it actually is like an Amy's like going like, well, why are you doing that? Like, but don't be so silly. Like kind of like that side of it just makes it more endearing, and I think it will grow even more because people just there's all this AI stuff in the world which is like but people just want real, and I think like that whole interaction, how you like interact with each other, is super interesting. So I think she's doing like really well.
Yeah, that's like a number one rule, just no fakery, just be us and just film it basically, which I appreciate. That's if it's coming across that way. I think that's why we're not really getting along with the short form, like the Facebook, the TikTok, because it's you have to grab attention straight away. So everything has to be the best, or it has to be controversial or cause uproar. But we're not about that. I think that's why YouTube suits us more. It's more when you click on YouTube, you'll know you're clicking on a video. It's longer form. It's more relaxed. It sort of tells a story a bit more. I think that suits us more rather than scrolling on Facebook. Something's called upset, and then people comment and arguing. That's not really our bag. We're still giving it a go, but we're trying not to fall into that trap, if you know what I mean.
I feel exactly the same. I feel like I'm so much more suited to this. Like, this is the kind of content that I probably enjoy doing the most. And then when it comes to like car boot sales, I enjoy like kind of crafting a story, like an intro, and doing the creative side of like the thumbnail and the title and all that. Short form for me just seems like take that and just completely flip it on its head. Rather than a hook in the first 30 seconds, it's a hook in the first 3 seconds. Like, it's like you have to like, you have to really capture them. But short form was another thing that you wanted to speak about. So we spoke about it. This was last year, and I think at the time when you came on, I think that was the time when everyone was grabbing Ray-Ban Meta glasses, going to the car boot, chopping up that, and then putting it on TikTok, Instagram, and the likes of people like ClickRight and that they just started going crazy, didn't they? And then it led to other things. And I think that kind of gave people the belief that I can just go to the car boot, chop up these videos, and something crazy can happen. And it definitely can. But I think I remember he was putting out a serious amount of videos, and he was really consistent, more consistent than probably most other people. And then it just took off at the right time. Like you've seen with probably loads of your videos, they can just take off. But what are your thoughts on it now? Because I know you said there, like, it's completely different, but you're still giving it a go nonetheless.
Yeah, short form stuff isn't my bag as a viewer, because it's sort of copy paste or copy cut paste. So I've got the Ray-Ban glasses, but like I think I said last time, I'm trying to find a way to do it a bit different instead of just chop. This is my interaction and then post. Still haven't really worked it out, to be honest. But again, like, you have to get like instant a grab. So there has to be a fight or an argument or the best find ever, or you have to. I think that's where the fakery sort of creeps in. Not even fake, just over the top. So like the big, oh my god, and then it's sort of nothing. That's what sort of gets me.
Do you think it is, so the short form is a generational thing? And again, like, it might be completely way off here, but I think certainly from someone like me and maybe like from a slightly older generation, I prefer to go into something a little bit more deeper. So for me, like when I talk to like Luke, like half an hour, like I want to like research a subject for at least that kind of time. The 10 seconds, the 15 seconds, the minute side of it, I have no like. Certainly, if I speak to my youngest son, who's 21, and I can see him like scrolling on TikTok or one of these ones, and actually like he might be there for an hour, and then you actually say, "What have you just watched?" He wouldn't have a clue what he's actually watched. So for me, I think that retention of information is really like a thing. But I don't know if it's just the younger generation don't have the attention span to actually watch an hour plus video. Again, I don't know what your thoughts are.
Well, I actually find the Facebook side of it, because you can do the same short form video, you can post on Facebook and TikTok, and Facebook gets a lot of the older generation, to be honest. That's what I've noticed from comments anyway, and looking at other people's content as well. Whereas obviously TikTok is the younger generation, like our girls, they're 14 and 16, so prime TikTok age and everything, Snapchat. Yeah, they can be on there for like an hour and they could probably tell me a couple that they've watched. It's just literally brain rot. It's probably our number one argument within the household screens. But yeah, there is the different demographics. I didn't even know you could get paid from Facebook until last year. I think everyone else sort of clocked on as well. Like, oh, it takes a quick 30-second, 1 minute video and Facebook are paying quick. Just get as much on as you can. Whereas I think the ones that have done well on Facebook and the short form, you sort of see, like, obviously YouTube is algorithm based, but I think Facebook and TikTok's even more algorithm based, because you could have a video that gets like 1 million views one time and then the next one gets like 100 or 200 or 1,000. Whereas I think YouTube is more consistent, it seems, like with my numbers anyway. There's sort of a more of a level. Like, one can go off every now and then, but it's almost like, yeah, the short form, if you don't post one day, you're going to get punished. So I think that's when I start seeing repeats, like people repeat a video that they've already done a few months ago just to make the algorithm happy. Yes, I think, yeah, it's more of a throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks with short form, whereas YouTube is more planned out, more of a storytelling, more chilled out vibe, like I said. So that's where I live anyway.
I think you partly covered what I was going to say as well, because I was going to ask, like, what do you actually want to achieve with kind of the short form? Is it to get people over to your YouTube channel? Because I can imagine, I'm not quite sure if, well, you must know, say like the main demographic that watches your videos. Do you know that age range where that usually is, or is it kind of varied all over the place?
My YouTube channel, I think the sweet spot's between sort of my age, so 30 to 55, 60. That's sort of my age range. The younger audience, like 13 to 18, that's my lowest, as I'm not down with the kids as much. But yeah, so it is, I think it's more, yeah, sort of that middle ground. And then when it comes to short form, because that's what I originally started, like, I'll do short form content, people come over to YouTube, subscribe, get more subscribers that way, my main thing. But that doesn't actually happen. It's literally two different audiences. And again, it's about like the Facebook side of it, the TikTok, you need to get people engaging, you need comments. So the best way to do that is negativity, drama. And yeah, again, I don't like that. So the odd thing I might do just to test it out, and then it does well, I was like, oh, there you go. You need to be negative or cause controversy to do well. So I'd rather not. Stick to the story of the family and that, and the other one can do well if it wants to, or not. I'm not really too bothered.
I understand, because of the way the world is now with like short form, say like the TikTokification and everything like that. I kind of get a little bit concerned about, because I've heard it a lot. Oh, you need to chop up the podcast and put it on TikTok, Instagram Reels. You need to chop up the car boot videos. But I'm concerned that it's just an entirely different viewer. So they'll come over, and then because they like that sharp hit, like kind of dopamine, like getting a crazy find, bit of drama, all that kind of stuff, but you're getting it there and then like that. They're a completely different viewer to watching a 10 to 15 minute to an hour to an hour and a half podcast. They're never going to, so if they come over, subscribe, they're not going to watch. And that's what I'm terrified of. If you're not interested in certain content buckets on the channel and you wouldn't watch them, the last thing you want is for them to be subscribed. So that's my kind of concern with it there. And I'm completely in agreement with you. A lot of these, not everyone, of course, but just kind of chopped up copy and paste of like a car boot sale video, whatever it is, even if it's bang average video, it just gets chucked up. Just see what hits. But I've seen a lot of people that have sometimes hundreds of thousands of subscribers or followers on Instagram and TikTok. They'll transition over and then do YouTube videos, and they won't get the views, they won't get the following, because it's so different. I think YouTube is so hard. Honestly, there's so much thought and there's so much effort that goes into it. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's easier to grab a reaction than create a story sort of thing. Not story, but you know, like you said, you follow me and my videos for the story. You know the interaction we have with the family, with the business. It's easier to do that over a long term, or it's harder to do that, obviously. But once you get your core audience, keep them happy. Still changing it up. Like I might do a different video every now and then, but yeah, rather than just make people angry and everyone kicks off. You get a load of views, you might get paid a little bit, but then you haven't got that core audience that cares about you and your situation. Like because and obviously the feed is personalized to them. So if like Facebook knows, oh, this person loves an argument, and they're going to get tailored argumentative stuff, and you don't want that negativity coming over to your YouTube, like you said. So yeah, it's two different audience. You literally have to treat it different. I
much prefer the whole positivity. I just think I resonate a lot more when it comes to like people who are doing well. Now, I know sometimes that will actually generate some jealousy potentially, but I'm all about like encouraging people that you can do better, and like yes, like that, like life can be tough, but you can get through all that side of it. I think that's more important than the whole doom and gloom and like, isn't life terrible? Life can be hard. There's no two ways about it. For a lot of people out there, like people are having like real tough times. But I think some form of social media, if you can like try to actually put the positives on things, I think if that helps just a couple of people, I think that's super important. And I get it, like the whole drama side of it. And yes, you can build a very successful business like on YouTube or anything just through drama, and that's fine. If you like that kind of stuff, then that would crack on. But for me personally, and listening to you guys, it sounds like we're fairly on a similar kind of page.
Yeah, definitely. But I do get sucked in myself, and then like obviously with football, I support Arsenal. Follow Talk Sports, Sky Sports. You get sucked in like, oh, Arsenal are boring, this and that, and then I get sucked in myself. So that's why it does work. Like controversy and everything, it works, but it doesn't leave you feeling good after. So I want people to feel good after. So yeah,
I live on Talksport all day, and being a Spurs fan. Like there's constant negativity and constant like kickoffs. Obviously, if you watch it, you know, like Jamie O'Hara, like the biggest Spursy guy ever, just kicks off all the time. So you just see like kickoff or rant or something like that. But I stay for the human, like I stay for the actual personality behind it. That's not say that you can kick off in every single thing and then you'll stay for the fact that it's me. Like I know many people on YouTube that just purely hit like negativity every single time. Don't get me wrong, like I'll put in a little thing to like draw people in, but you know kind of what you're getting in that video anyway. It will just be like a tiny snippet, but so it's such a funny conversation, honestly. I want to get to a couple of questions as well. Like I say, any more questions for George, keep them coming and we'll get to them as soon as we can. Flogger, hi George. Since Amy has come on board with her business analyst experience, what part of the business have you noticed has changed the most, and are you embracing the changes?
I think it's what we spoke about earlier, just the routine. Like she bought, and we use this every week, and that works. It's just being more having structures and routines, and treating it like a business. Like she used to tell me off, like I'm just treating it as a hobby, which I did, and I still do every now and then. But I got to remember, this is a business. Like my dead ends job that I hated, and makes me still feel like I get goosebumps just thinking about working there, is literally a stone throw away now from where we moved. And when I go to the tip, like the recycling center, I drive past where I used to work, where it was dead end, and I hated life then. Not life, but I hated that job. And I get a little reminder then, like, oh no, you're a bit tired because you've gone to a few charity shops, George. I think she's done that in the video actually. And then this is my job, isn't it? I'll crack on then. And so she's that constant flick on the ear, like, crack on, come on, this is your business as well, not just fun. But it is fun at the same time. But routine, structure, that's definitely the biggest thing.
So on that note, I actually I wrote one little question down, and this might be a little bit of like a difficult one, but like I actually wrote that: is it harder to take criticism from your spouse than it would be from a normal employee or a boss? So in other words, how do you cope if she actually says, George, no, like you like I know you've been doing this for 10 years, but it's completely wrong. How do you think it's easier to take it from Amy, or do you find that difficult?
I know we've been together since we was 14, so I'm well used to it by now. But yeah, I am quite stubborn myself. Like I'll kick back a bit every now and then we sort of meet in the middle. Like again, the boxes, like she wanted to do straight away, individually numbered, change it to this, change everything. I kicked back a bit, so this is a compromise. So we're doing these boxes, but not individually numbered yet. But it'll probably come. So, and I'd say it's probably easier coming from Amy because I've seen her experience. I've seen how good she is at her job. But rather than like a random person on YouTube might leave a comment like saying, "Oh, what are you doing this for?" I think I react worse to them maybe rather than the wife telling me what to do.
I completely agree, and I think for me it comes with the respect. So in other words, like kind of like you've been together obviously since you've been 14, you've built up like this incredible kind of relationship, and I think it's more important to be able to like that communication side of it, and clearly like it will be a lot easier for you to actually like work stuff like that out than it would be potentially, as you said, like getting someone like a keyboard warrior going like, George, you're doing it all wrong. This is like I've gone through your analytics and you're doing it rubbish. But whereas like if you've got someone that you know you trust, you've had that relationship with it, I think it's a completely different model. It just is different.
Yeah, and obviously this business pays for our mortgage, both of our mortgages, so she wants it to do well, whereas someone that has no links to this at all, they don't know the past or what we're about. So yeah, definitely makes sense.
And they've got skin in the game, haven't they? It's kind of theirs as well. So yeah, it's very different probably from bringing someone in. But yeah, I think about that as well. And we've spoke about as well, Simon, if you bring someone in, say like your family or anything like that, you've got to be willing to let them go kind of as well. And I don't really know how that would work with your spouse. This ain't working. You got to get back. You got to go back in a job. Imagine that, chat.
That was one of our things we had to consider. Like we do the pros and cons, and one of the cons was obviously we're going to be spending every day with each other, and we both firmly believe time apart makes the heart grow fonder. So we won't spend all day every day together. Like for example, on a Thursday, she might take Lenny out for the day, like soft play or go to her mum's or something, and I'll just be here. And then we're not at each other all the time. Because if it was in here all day, every day, then obviously it can get heated or you don't want to get bored of each other, obviously. But that was one of the cons. Obviously, we would be together every day unless we plan time away from each other, which we try and do.
Do you know what's funny? Like out of all the things that we could potentially speak about, that for me is the most important one. Because I said to Luce, I was like, if it ever happened where she would come in with me, I'm like, because we've been together, well, she was 15, I was 16. So like kind of similar ages to you guys. And I'm like, we've had that space, whether it be like school, university, like job life, where you go to work, I go to work, you come together in the evening, you're together on the weekends, all that kind of stuff. And that separation's always been there. You go from that to like, now this is the business. So say like, you don't necessarily have to be together all the time. Like I was saying, she could be doing and cracking on things and I could be going out. But essentially it changes the relationship a little bit. And that's what concerns me the most. So that's what I love speaking to people about that have brought their wife or their husband or their partner in. How do you deal with the relationship side of things? So has that for you been really different? Has it made it stronger? Or I guess you probably wouldn't want to go into it if it was the opposite way.
Yeah, it's been obviously it's only early days. It's like 2 or 3 months, but we're like again with the planning board, we do plan time. Like Amy will take Lenny somewhere, or I went to the boot sale this morning by myself, and I'll be picturing in here. So you do have to plan time away. Obviously, if things do get heated, then she'll just clean the house a bit or do something else and stuff. But not that that's happened, but it's real life. It does happen. It might happen in the future. Like she doesn't like me very much one week or one day, but you just make it work. So yeah, but I think it's definitely important to take time away to miss each other. Because obviously I've got the shed in our garden in our house. So if I have to suddenly move out, my business is here. It'll be very awkward.
Does that concern you, Simon, at all? Because I know obviously Lisa's got different schedule and stuff like that. I think you're more together, I think, than maybe traditional like 9 to 5ers. But would that concern you? Because like I say, I think about that a lot.
Do you know what? We was out. I think a family do the other day, and someone actually said, "Oh, it must be." Someone's asking Lisa, "Right, it must be lovely having Simon like basically at home all the time," and thing. And her exact words, and this kind of was a little bit of a wake up call for me. Was she was actually saying that she goes, "I literally never see him because he's always up in the office or he's out sourcing." So at the moment, like the fact of the matter is that I work even more, so I probably see her less than actually in a full-time job at the moment. But that's what I've chosen. And even though, yes, the nice thing is that it is just at the end of the thing, so I can go in. I had to take my son to for a hospital appointment yesterday. This job enabled me to be able to do that. Like, didn't have to ask a boss or anything like that. So I still have that ability.
Love it, my man. Quick one, Secret Carper question. Do you think you would go back to Amazon?
No, there was a sweet spot where it was really good. And then it's just more and more strict, it seems, with policies and secondhand stuff. So don't say never, but not at the moment, no.
Would you ever do a car boot challenge with Amy? I'm guessing this may be a you versus her or challenge together. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, her passion isn't reselling per se, but and car boots aren't her favorite. But we go to the odd one, like a couple as a family. So yeah, bring a couple of cameras, see what comes out, and then if it goes well, might do it more regular. Yeah, basically. I'm not sure what the challenge would be. Like, I guess her versus me, or just together, or I don't know, but it's to come.
I love a challenge video. Like, not that anyone
He's a nightmare. Honestly, I can't get hold of him for about a week because he's doing these bloody challenges all the time. I was going to say, because you said there, her passion isn't reselling. Is your passion reselling?
Yeah, I'm doing this till I die, till I drop. Some people say about if they won the lottery, they would stop this in a heartbeat. If I won not that I do the lottery, but if I won the lottery, I'd still be reselling. Like, even when I'm retired, I'll still be reselling. Because I started reselling before social media, before any of that. I just have a passion for vintage, antique, or not antiques, but more the mid-century to 90s, 2000 stuff. That's my passion. I generally enjoy it. So yeah, it naturally happened, and it always happened. Whereas Amy does love vintage and stuff like that, but she's buying and selling it is a different thing.
I asked you last time you was on, so literally like a year ago, and I was so shocked by the answer that I got. Because obviously you've done amazing on YouTube. You built up to over 40k subscribers. It's been such a massive thing for you, your life, and your family, and everything. And I said, look, if you had to drop one or rely on one, I can't remember what the actual question was, but it was out of YouTube and it was out of reselling. Or what do you see long term? I think that was it. And you said reselling, and I was gobsmacked because I thought you would instantly go to the social media YouTube side of things.
No, I have a phrase. I think it's I want to be a reselling YouTuber. I don't want to be a YouTuber that resells. I think that's the right way around. So basically, I want to be reselling, and then YouTube's part of it. I don't want to be a content creator. I'll have to do reselling because that's my niche. Again, talking about short form, I think that's where they've done well. and then they've just dropped the whole eBay store, and then they just sell a bit on whatnot. That's not me at all. I'm going to do this. I'm filming it or not. I think that's the right way around. Yeah, I want to be a reselling YouTuber, not a YouTuber that resells. Yeah, I think that's the right way around.
We had a similar chat about that, the whole reselling YouTuber thing with Jamie Dodger as well. It was interesting.
Yeah, if YouTube suddenly falls off and I get no viewers, I'm still going to be reselling exactly the same, making improvements, doing this and that. And I think YouTube or social media might have a shelf life, whereas reselling won't. It's like the oldest industry going, like buying and selling something. Whereas obviously, I don't know, just might not want to film myself anymore. So that could easily drop. Whereas buying and selling, having an actual business that's got legs long, like that's going to last longer.
And also, it's probably a more selfish question from my point of view, but what would you consider is more reliable? So you've obviously got, these are your two main core things in your business. What would you say is more reliable? Because you're very consistent on YouTube. I don't really know about if you have a certain amount of listings per day or listings per week or anything like that, or you just list as and when. But what would you say is more reliable for you at the minute?
Since last year, I've been doing 10 a day. I've gone up to 12 a day quite consistently, Monday to Friday, not 7 days a week. But I want the reselling to be more stable because obviously YouTube is quite stable. It has been for 18 months now, but I have to put a video out. Obviously, you have to do your listings, but if I was to take a month off doing YouTube, the views would suddenly quickly go down. Whereas I think if I took a month off eBay and reselling, sales would still come in. Obviously, it would affect it, but not as much. And obviously, I've done the listings, I've done the hard work, so they'll tick along. Whereas a video, obviously, you get a nice burst, and you might get some views trickle in over the months and years, but it soon drops off. So yeah, I'd say reselling, I want to be more stable. And obviously a video could suddenly go viral, whereas I don't think sales could go viral. Like you might get a day, you get a £500 day, you might get £1,000 day every now and then. But if a video goes viral, you could earn a lot more than that. But not that that's happened to me yet, but I'm hoping so. I need a 1 million view video like Jamie. That's what I need.
Yeah, I'd love it if sales went viral. Hey, Simon, that'd be nice. Kick Lux, I don't know if he's allowed to answer this, but isn't there a huge tax benefit to hiring a spouse in the sense of giving the money to your spouse instead of the tax man? Obviously, this is not tax advice.
No, I just thought, could your eBay Live go viral if you do short form content? You do something a bit different or wacky on social media, people then want to log on, so your eBay Live might go viral. I was just thinking out loud then. But I don't know, is a huge for hiring a spouse. So yeah, I was always sole trader since I started until I won the eBay money, because that was going to take me into VAT. So I was going to make the change anyway, because you get more security and it's tax beneficial anyway. But yeah, that pushed me over the line. So I've been limited since November, I think, or October. And yes, so yeah, hiring Amy. Like, I'm the director. Amy's actually an employee at the moment. So yeah, as her pay is tax beneficial basically, but without giving tax advice. I would recommend looking into going limited if you're not.
Yeah, well, I think at some point we're myself and Luke we're hopefully try and get an accountant on so we can actually go through like a lot more of these kind of questions. But it is very difficult to actually give any advice when it comes to financial stuff. So and I'd always say, if you're unsure about anything like that, okay, just speak to someone who's actually trained and as actually a professional.
Yeah, I'm with Boffix and Aaron. I've had him on a couple of times on my channel. So yeah, I'll give you his page. You can hit him up, and I'm sure he'll be more than welcome to come on here and answer questions.
Love it, mate. Yeah, it feels pretty poor from our point of view that we can't answer anything like that. It's just that there's not, like we say, you can't really be giving advice on here. So yeah, I think we'll get a professional on probably very, very soon. So yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be fun. So then you can blast all your questions for accountancy, tax, all that kind of stuff. That'd be cool. Is George planning to scale his business, and if so, how? Money mental.
I don't want to be scared of VAT either, saying about obviously I was going to tip into VAT because I probably am going to hit it still this year, like later this year. But so I just want to scale in a way that we're just comfortable if there's a VAT bill as well to add on and things like that. So only scale as much as we can within this unit and on social media. There's no plans to get a massive warehouse and loads of employees. So just see how much we can push it at this scale, sort of thing, or at this size.
What do you think? Just watching your last video, what do you think capacity is for your shed for the storage unit, and how close are you to like getting to capacity?
What listings am I on? I used to operate at 250 to 350 listings, and that was it for ages. And now I'm up to, because I do a lot more clothing, obviously, we're up to 849 listings, and that's without my new racking that's coming this week. So
Remember, you got the boot sale seasons like literally within the next couple of weeks, so you're going to be going ham as well.
Yeah, I went to one this morning. I'm just looking, the boxes look full, which they sort of are, but this side is a bit empty, and then I've got a brand new racking coming in. I reckon 1800 maybe. So yeah, I've got plenty of space yet.
Oh, so you got double the space. Nice.
Hopefully.
Really good to see how your family are all invested in the reselling. Would you encourage the girls and Lenny to get into reselling?
Yeah, so the girls, normally you see Maisie, that's our second eldest. She's more into it. Like she'll come to the boot sale, she'll be in a video every now and then. She sold a few bits on Vintage herself. Layla, our eldest, she's more very, very academic. Like she's doing her GCSE, she's getting like A stars here, there, and everywhere, which is amazing. So reselling wise, she's not too bothered, to be honest. she'll look on Vinted for herself. Like she needed some jeans last week and she found some and bought some herself, which shows Vinted's power, or not power, but the uprising. Like a teenager is now using Vinted. She hasn't got the eBay app as far as I know, but she's got Vinted, which might tell you a lot. But and then Lenny, he loves the toys, toy tax, I call it. When he's with us in a charity shop, there's the toy tax to pay, like a marble run or a soft toy or a car. But he loves daddy bringing home toys. What's the one? Oh, he came in the unit last week and it's listed and pictured, so I had to be mindful. But he saw this, the big loader. So we had that out and I had to make sure all the balls were still there. So yeah, he likes that, but I don't know if he'll get into it. Hopefully he might get into it, but we'll see. There's no pressure at all.
What's funny is you said the girls like buying and selling on Vinted. You said you don't even know if they have the eBay app. It feels like everyone who I speak to, whether it be a person I know or a person I hear, never really hear about anyone listing or selling a person that isn't like a business seller on eBay. And it's showing.
I just remembered. Yeah, obviously I couldn't film it, but I'd done like a work experience or careers day at our girls' school, at the high school. Yeah, I went in as a self-employed reseller, content creator. Then there was like a policeman, there's a paramedic, there's a surveyor, all these different jobs from the parents. I had like a table, and then it was the whole of year 9. Like it was sort of speed dating, but you had like 5 minutes with like 4 students, then it would rotate another 4 students all day long. And yeah, they're all on Vinted basically. The odd one mentioned they know eBay. I said, oh, my mum buys stuff on eBay, like, but their mum does. Like it's an older generation thing. But they all knew Vinted. They all knew flipping on the Vinted, which was really eye-opening, to be honest. And obviously they knew like the content creation. They were on the short form a lot more. And then my mum used to sell a bit on eBay, her personal stuff, but she found it so confusing and stressful. But she sells on Vinted as well herself. So again, like 60-year-old and 16-year-olds, they're both using Vinted.
Yeah, my mum uses eBay for like big bulky stuff for like collection only.
Yeah.
she'll use it for that. But other than that, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just so interesting where it's going. Salvage kicks. Question: while on the subject of social media presence, I've recently started doing reseller channel, and the views are slow and painful. Do you need to have them clickbait content or just be patient with it? So a bit of advice when it comes to, I'm guessing, growing a reselling channel.
Is that on YouTube? So that's the only
I think
thing.
it's basically like, do you have to do kind of clickbait content?
Yeah.
Because like what you were saying, I don't think you massively approve of like huge, I don't know.
I do the odd. I
Yeah.
didn't say like I don't do any at all, but like your thumbnail and your title, that is like your front cover of a book and the title of the book. So you need it to be grabbing. It can't be plain and boring because no one would click on it. But again, you don't want to go over the top, like you don't want to say something that doesn't happen in the video, or is this pure clickbait? Because some people, like, not trolls, but people will comment saying, oh, this is clickbait, but I make sure the title and thumbnail is to do, and something does happen in that video. It's just obviously it worked as a thumbnail and title because you clicked on it to watch the video, and people think that's clickbait. It's just a good title and thumbnail. So yeah, focus on them. Obviously, once people have clicked, you've got to make sure they stay watching. So you got to make sure, authentic. Just keep it real, really, and keep consistent as well.
Simon, I think the main thing that I look at it as is like, yes, like you want to bait the click. That's the idea of a video. But I think you want to deliver on the promise. So I literally exactly what Georgia says there. As long as it happens in the video, you can make it a little bit more dramatic or whatever in order to get that person in. But as long as it's not something completely separate, because the way YouTube used to work was it's just about getting the click. That was it. Now it's about click through and watch time. So you want both of them to be on point. So therefore you want to get them to click and then you want them to stay. That's the main thing. And that's where if it is massively clickbait, then they're going to jump straight off and that's going to go against you. So yeah, salvage kick. I'll just say deliver on the promise. That's from me. But George has been around for a lot longer than me and a lot more successful in terms of YouTube. Also,
I'd say don't necessarily, just because you might have lower subscribers doesn't mean your video will get thousands of views. Like some people, I've seen I follow like YouTube channels that like they do they review different channels and stuff, and basically there was a channel, their first ever video with no subscribers got over 1 million views because obviously YouTube calculates like people have clicked on, how long have they watched for, etc. And obviously it picked up like, oh, this is a good video, and then they dish it out to everyone. So just because you might have low subscribers doesn't mean you'll get lots of views, which then comes with subscribers naturally. So yeah.
I think as well, Simon, we was having a conversation and you was actually speaking about your views like on your videos and that. And do you think maybe in order to get these higher viewed videos, and I'll let Simon jump in because he was questioning whether to go into like car boot sale content, do you think it's important to maybe, if you want to get like views, I know it's not probably the most important thing when it comes to growing your channel because you want people to stay, that's the most important thing. Do you think they're the only style videos that can really get kind of like high viewed content?
So for me, yeah, like, so the content that I put out, and like we said like about it earlier about like the whole positivity and like process driven and all that side of it, I'm not the biggest fan when it comes to the car boot sales, and I also like worry that because what I do is I just pick up clothing. I'm sure George can actually like attain to this, that I don't think people are that excited about seeing a pair of like trousers being picked up, whereas like if George finds a mid-century table that's worth like £250, I think that will like get the better, that's going to get more views. So for me, like I do struggle. I struggle on the whole car boot sale side of it, but also I think more importantly, because I'm so focused on me going to a car boot sale is go time. That's when I get like the most amount of stock, and trying to, like, even if I've got a camera on, walking around, I'm still in the back of my mind going, okay, is this going to be a good shot? Like, right, do I need to interact with this person? Do I need to, like, be, oh, crikey, like, it's kicking off over here. All that side of it is playing on my mind. But realistically, all I want to do is actually buy as much stuff as I possibly can.
I'd say with that clothing boring and that, I wouldn't say that. I'd say I've sort of laid my own bed. Like, I'm retro reselling, I buy lamps, I buy this, I buy that. So that was sort of my audience. They're expecting that. That's why I say clothes boring, because that's not what I was known for originally. Whereas obviously Luke, I watch Luke, I know, right, he's going to get loads of men's clothing, brands, cuts, shapes, whatever. That's what I'm watching Luke's boot sale videos for. So I know it is going to be clothing, but that's why I want to watch Luke's video. So yeah, if you set out like a clothing seller or reseller, that's what people are going to expect. Then they can make their own minds up if they want to watch or not. Whereas, yeah, where I try and not buy so much clothing at a boot sale, that's because I started out like I buy this, that, and everything. So that's why I try and change it up. But yeah, if you are a clothing seller, then I'd say it's not boring for everyone, because I don't find it boring. I'm still learning and I find it interesting. Yeah, just, find your niche and yeah.
I've got similar views with the short form that I do with the long form when it comes to car boot sale videos. I think so many people blend in because essentially all it is just a GoPro strapped to your chest or like on top of your backpack, like when I saw you. Either way, it's like a GoPro strapped to you and you're going around buying and selling things. I think a lot of people blend in. So I think when it comes to the videos, I think what I wanted to do was kind of bring more of like a personal element into it, like try and flip the camera around as much as I can, talk to it, show my face, maybe put my face in the thumbnails a little bit, but maybe not too much. So I think for me personally, like bringing in and having a mic like attached to me where I go around and speak a lot, see that people can like determine the difference a little bit, try and bring a bit more value to the videos rather than just like just straight strapped to your chest. I don't know what are your thoughts on that? Like if people were going to start, and this is the thing, like not everyone is super uncomfortable. I mean, or super comfortable in order putting it on themselves and speaking. But do you think to maybe have a little bit of a, I don't know, differentiation or whatever about you compared to just the mass videos that are going to be out there?
Yeah, I was going to say that earlier and I forgot to say it. I probably timed it quite well as well when I started YouTube, because there's Nick, Zahir, who else at the time, but there's basically a handful of YouTube resellers. So there wasn't as much competition. Whereas starting right now it's flooded basically. So you got to try and stick out. So that's going to be you and your personality, unless you find a different way of changing it up. But yeah, we're going to a boot sale in a field, we're buying stuff. So it is very much the same, but yeah, the only difference is you and your personality. So yeah, that's going to be the thing that does divide you from everyone else. So yeah, talk to the camera, get people to know you, your situation. Yeah, that's why I start out like every boot sale video. I'll be in the car, do a bit of an introduction, and then we're at the boot sale, and then I'll talk to the camera again. Like you said, like always talking, interacting. Instead of just plug it in and then you just do boot sale. Everyone can do that. So yeah, you need to just try and stand out from a very busy crowd at the moment. And I'm still not comfortable when it comes to talking to people at a boot sale, like, because I'm worried there is a camera and I'm trying to get this as cheap as possible. Oh no, there's a bee in here. Oh no. So yeah, the thing that people can't copy is yourself. So try and get comfortable and again see how it goes.
Yeah, I think that's super important in terms of like how much AI content is going to be flooded as well. I know people are hopping on like faceless channels and all that kind of stuff, but I feel like there's going to be a massive shift into like the actual person, the human being, even whether it comes to thumbnails, when it comes to the content, whether it comes to anything really. So, you're trying to get this bee out.
Oh my god, I think that was a queen bee and it was hovering near my legs. It's gone now, don't worry.
Right, we can use that as a clickbait.
Yeah, that'll be the short form. That'll be the one that goes on TikTok.
Attacked by bee.
Yeah, George Ross attacked by bee. Cancelled. Completely
Not
kicked off the
clickbait.
podcast. Adam Williams 6748. If you give your partner the rubbish task that you hate, they will end up hating it too. Would that affect your relationship? So I'm guessing
refused, so there's not that problem.
Mr. Bolding, James, are you going to be joining us for a coffee break at Dirty Dunce this year? Promise I'll get out of bed this time. Luke's crying.
Yeah.
He weren't there,
I
was
really
he,
wanna
when we
hit-
met up?
Yeah, I really want to hit Dunton a lot more this year. I've done it 2 or 3 times last year. Yeah, I definitely want to do it again a lot more. Yeah, catch up, Dirty Dunce, have a coffee. Sounds good to me. But I won't be getting there at 4. When do you get there? 4, when the gates open?
About 3:45.
No, I'll see you at 5 or 6. All right.
Fair enough. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Mad Phase, Xander, great chat, fellas. Question, George, could I ask who you're watching on socials? Is there anyone on YouTube you follow and is an inspiration?
Reselling wise, I don't watch too much reselling content at the moment. I like dip in and out, but yeah, obviously Luke Simon, Bold Finds, Jamie Dodger, Mad Fades actually. I've been watching your videos as well. Then I'll dip in like Nick and Andrea. But yeah, I sort of rotate, and yeah, I'm fully into my football at the moment because obviously Arsenal are doing well, which helps. But I'm trying to think. Obviously Sonny Green, he's on Britain's Got Talent. I don't know if you saw that, Sonny.
Is he? What, the guy that goes to Dunton, Essex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his catchphrase? Oh, what does he shout at the boot sales?
Bargain alert.
That's it, bargain alert. Yeah, he's on Britain's Got Talent. He's through to the next round, I think. He might be on the live shows. So yeah, it's a bit of that. Can't think what else. Basically football heavy at the moment. Come on, the Arsenal.
Simon, I can't find the time to watch because we get asked it quite a bit as well, like who'd you watch on YouTube and stuff like that. And I think, I don't know whether I shared it actually. And you know when YouTube gives you that update at the end of the year, like what you've watched the most, it was literally Sky Sports, The Overlap, Talk Sport, Beard Meets
You was in my
Food.
top 5 actually, Luke.
Huh?
You was in my top 5. I think I tagged you on
I made it. Yeah, it was like that. And then Beard Meets Food, and I can't remember, but it's like, Simon, I can't get the time to just like to watch anything really.
I don't watch normal telly anymore, to be honest. We like Gary Eats as well. If you like food reviews, Gary Eats is a good one.
I watch Harrison Webb. So he's he's really good. I like that, and I like Simon Wilson does travel ones. He's very, very good, and it's all like, again, like the positivity side of it as well. So, but just a real quick one for me. I promise that I met one of our subscribers who watches like behind the listings. A guy called Jason. He's actually at work at the moment, but he asked me to actually ask a question as well, and it was just in regards to AI listers. And like the question he said is, does an AI lister help with things like keywords and getting views? For someone who doesn't really know too much when it comes to the actual intricacies of keywords, what's good, what's not good, doesn't an AI lister help? I thought it was actually quite a good and an interesting question.
So I've teamed up with Listing Monster AI, and it's literally doubled my process of listing. I can list so much quicker. And with an AI, obviously, the more you interact with it, the more it learns. So maybe at the start, it might not be as good with keywords. It is good. But then the more you type or correct the keywords and the titles, it learns from that. And like now it's getting faster and faster. So yeah, I'd say yes. And especially the item specifics as well. It just does it so much quicker. Yeah, I'd recommend an AI lister. Might not be for everyone, but definitely with clothing. Maybe with the vintage one-off pieces, I can list myself. Fair enough. But yeah, when it comes to sizes and styles and everything else, yeah, clothing, it definitely helps having an AI list.
Rosie Marsden. Me and my husband have had a business together, not reseller related, and he knows things I don't. It's all about respecting each other's strengths, although I'm always right in my reselling business. That's what I mean. We always feel like we're right. That's why the arguments kick off.
Yeah, Rosie's near me, actually. I didn't see her today. She's normally at my boot sale. So, hi, Rosie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I always see Rosie out and about, nicking my stuff from the Salvation Army.
AKA KP3GD. Do you think resellers should talk more about take-home profit? Revenue makes sounds better, but it would be interesting to know how many 100k sellers are taking home 20k versus 50k. That makes 30. So yeah, Simon, you did an interesting video. I think it's probably going on like a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably about like 18 months ago now, I think. Maybe might even be like it's certainly over a year ago.
Was it the end of 2024, the start of 25? I remember seeing that video.
Yeah, I think so. And it was without a doubt the one that I think I spoke to like Luke and James about it, about saying that I really didn't know whether I should even release it, because at the time, like I felt a bit embarrassed by it, because like, yes, I was this 100k seller, but I think like I kind of like, it was like the 30k out of it I made. And I was thinking like, oh, kind of thing, like, is this going to do me anything? But it actually, for me, it kind of got so much of a better response than I expected it to be. So the reality is, okay, and we've said this on multiple times, that if you want to get super rich, this is a very difficult way of doing it. That there's no two ways about it. So yes, even if you are like doing 100,000, the reality is that if you're running a really like efficient business, you might be talking 40,000 pound like take home, which again is a lot of work for that. But again, what people love to focus on is that, oh, you're only making this amount of money. What they forget is that, guess what? I don't have a boss. I don't have to go in to an office, be there at 9 o'clock, and if I turn up at 9:05, being told off like a naughty schoolboy, or being able to like dictate when I take holidays and all that side of it. So you're absolutely right. Okay, if you look at the overall like profit margins, yes, that's important, but it's the lifestyle as well. In my opinion, the lifestyle outweighs the physical like costs. And there's other ways around it as well, that like when it comes to like tax efficiency and all that side of it, there's lots more to it than just like, oh, you're only making like £30,000. So I don't know about you guys, what are your thoughts?
I was going to say, us directors are on 12,000 a year, aren't we? That's
yeah,
the personal income. But that's probably my biggest bugbear when it comes to comments. Like, I'll say, oh, I've bought this for 10, it sold for 50. Obviously take away some fees, but then people will be like, what about this national insurance and tax, and then your time? Like, oh, you could do that, you could break down everything, but it'll be boring to watch, right? You sort of got to use your common sense. Like, yes, there's tax and national insurance, but bought it for this, sold it for that, bit of fees if it's sold on eBay, and then use your common sense for the rest, basically. And yeah, it's not a get rich quick scheme reselling. It is, yeah, don't have your own boss, freedom. There's no way, if I was working for someone else or another company, I would not earn as much as I do. But then at the same time, I could earn more doing another business. So it's that sweet spot of free time, no boss, unless you work with your wife. Yeah, just got to be real. It's not get rich quick. So again, the short form, and they make it like, oh, I sold £10,000 worth of stock this week. Like, I'm not sure about that. But if you did, yeah, you could, but it'd be boring basically if you'd done all the numbers all the time. But that one video, Simon, that was really insightful. Maybe I should do one. Maybe we'll see.
I think that it comes back to that realness again. Like I've put my myself out there, and again at the time I was really embarrassed. But then when I actually thought about it,
down boy.
Sorry. But then when I thought about it, actually, do you know what? Like what I do have within my life and what I've actually achieved, I'm super proud of that. So again, I think anyone should be like kind of like happy with what they've got.
Yeah, I think like regardless of the benefits, so say like being your own boss, flexibility, all that kind of stuff, we all understand that. Spoke about that many times. In terms of this specific question, I get it because obviously like, we all want to be as like we want to see transparency as much as we possibly can. But I mean, and that's why I think that your video did so well, Simon. It's probably one of your best performing videos. And it's not even just the fact of like views or anything like that. I think it was more so the comments, the appreciation of the fact you've pretty much done everything. I could do something like that. George could do something like that. It's a heck of a lot of effort. And I almost feel like
we share a lot as it goes as well. And that's a different level of sharing, I think.
Yeah, because then I don't know, you can say that I'm lying or not telling the truth about certain stuff, but I've shown my figures on here so many times, and then I'll say like what I aim per profit, like what I aim for on an average per profit per item, and then these are my average cost of goods. Like work it out from there on. Like to get these comments about like tax and all this kind of stuff and VAT, and it's like when you get a video that's pushed, say like a car boot sale video, it then gets kind of a couple of waves by YouTube, it ends up going 10, 20K. You bring in entirely different audience, and then you get those sort of comments. You get the fake, you get the hope you're paying your taxes on this sort of stuff, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, at the end of the day, I understand it for transparency reasons and showing people that, this is possible. I'm 100+K seller, but this is actually the profit. This is what's achievable. And then you've got my whole journey here so you can see how I do it. At the minute now, I feel like I share so much that there's no real need to dive into the nitty gritty of the whole thing. I think you can kind of work it out, but that's if you believe me. So yeah, that's all good. But we got a couple more questions, and then I'll leave you to your day because I know you're probably going to be hectic today. You got to get through your list and all that kind of stuff, George. But we got actually, you might be able to answer this. I know Amy's not here, but question for Amy. I don't know whether you can answer this or what. You probably can. George seems to take your advice for most of the time, but is there anything you think he should implement in the business but is reluctant to do so? So what are you reluctant to do that Amy has said, you should probably do this?
Good question. I think I've done most things, like always pushing myself, like when the resale summit a couple of years ago, like I didn't like obviously talking to a load of people, like Amy pushed me to do that, so I've done that. Probably about the individually numbered things, and then also what else? Can't think off the top of my head. I have to ask and get back to you, Leanne. Because as far as I know, I'm a good boy and I've done everything she's told me to, but she'll say different, I'm sure.
I think we need to obviously get Amy on separately. Then
I'll work on it, yeah. Amy does not like comfort zones, and I like a comfort zone. Like I know what I'm doing, it's nice and safe, but yeah, she comes along and tears it up. So it's a good place to be. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done half the stuff I have done. So yeah.
And then final one, I can't believe I'm actually asking this, but is the quad happening? If you say yes to that,
I'd say one at a time. Okay, we've got one hand on the Prem, one hand. We've got a final this Sunday. We'll just see how it goes. Just if it naturally happens, then we'll see.
I say naturally happens. Quad. It's never been done, has it?
I think we've got two in us. I think we'll win this Sunday and the Prem. Miss out on the FA Cup and Champions League. 2 in the bag, I reckon. I've said it out loud now.
Simon, do you even know what we're on about?
Literally.
Do you
so I think like Luke and James actually like asked me the question, name 5 football players, and I think I came up with Kenny Dalglish, Rudd Hullet, and what was the thing?
Where did you pull Rudd Hullet out from? Like,
was it Terry Henry? Terry Henry?
Thierry Henry.
That's how much I know about football.
Uh-huh.
All right, on that bombshell, mate, we'll let you go, but appreciate you coming on. Obviously,
can I ask you one, Luke? Are you staying up?
Oh my days!
I'm not
like like one of these crazy biased fans. I'm like, I just love football, so I can say it honestly, and I really think it depends on this weekend. I think even if we draw, I think we're probably going down because I just see the fight. I see the fight in West Ham. I see the fight in Forest. I do not see the fight in Spurs at all. So I think if we don't win that game, and I think it's at home as well, and our home record is abysmal, then I think we're gone, which is mad to say.
Yeah. We won't talk about football. We'll put it to an end there. There you go.
Yeah. Oh,
Sorry,
you
bro.
wanted me to crash out like O'Hara, stormed out the studio.
Walk out. Yeah.
But yeah, we'd love to get if we can sort out something with
Cool.
yourself and Amy or whatever, and then we'd love to chat to her one day. But other than that, mate, really appreciate your time coming on here. It's been so much fun.
Yeah, well, if we catch up later in the year, obviously we've got more time of working together, see if anything has changed or if we're still working together, or if she's gone back to work, or if I've gone back to work, she's kicked me out. We'll see.
Yeah, like finally for me, like George, thank you so much. Like it's always like an absolute pleasure catching up, and it's always interesting to see how other people run their businesses and what they've actually got going on in their lives as well. And I know you document the majority of it online as well, but something like this where people get to actually ask you questions, I think is a really nice thing as well. So for me, like, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and it's an absolute pleasure. And I will at some point try to get down to Dirty Dunton as well, because it's not a million miles away, and I'll come down for a coffee as well. So but thank you.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, stay in touch. I'll join you for that coffee at Dirty Dunton.
Love it, mate.
All
right. Appreciate it, man. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.